was about to teach him a valuable lesson. The pups, who Ken had named Brownie, Whitey, and Blackie, happily tucked into their food, tails wagging. Ken looked up to see his dad's stern face. He owed him an explanation. The little boy came clean, explaining that he'd used his pocket money to buy as much food as he could. Every day for 2 weeks, he'd come to this spot to feed the stray dogs. Barry was awestruck. He knew he had to share what he had witnessed. In February 2014, Barry snapped the now famous picture of his son feeding the strays and posted it on Reddit, where it soon caught the attention of animal lovers around the world. "My son changed my perspective entirely," he wrote. He was touched by his son's selfless actions, but he was concerned for Ken's health. So the father and son reached a compromise. As the dogs are strays, Barry was worried that they carried diseases such as mange. He told his son that he would buy the food for the dogs on the street on one condition: Ken would have to go for a rabies vaccine and carry disinfectant in his backpack. Meanwhile, Barry's post on Reddit was gaining traction. The father and son could never have anticipated the world's response. When Ken told his dad that his dream was to eventually open an animal shelter to look after the neglected animals living on the streets of Davao, Barry laughed at his son's extraordinary ambitions. He gently exclaimed that it would take a lot of money and 20 years before Ken's dream could become a reality. But then the internet stepped in. After seeing the incredible response to his Reddit post, Barry decided to allow a website for Ken called Happy Animals Club. He also allowed Ken to bring Blackie, Whitey, and Brownie home to care for them, and soon they were running a small shelter from their garage. Barry helped Ken post updates on his website, and the response was phenomenal. "I love animals. I have 1 rescue dog and 2 rescue cats. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to open an animal shelter to help the stray dogs and cats on the streets," shares young Ken on his website. Happy Animals Club's main goal will be to rescue dogs from the city pound. The official at the pound said most dogs are put down because only 20 to 30% of owners claim their dogs, and no animal welfare organization is doing something about it. Donations began to pour in from supporters around the globe. Ken and his dad were able to lease a 1,000 square meter lot for a year, buy building materials, and hire carpenters. After months of hard work, the full-size Happy Animals Club was open for business. The shelter now holds 2 large pens, 2 apartments, and an annex. Years later, Ken's now a teen, and he was able to sustain his power of helping animals. His no-kill animal shelter and sanctuary has grown bigger thanks to the volunteers who are helping Ken and his family run the shelter. Happy Animals Club website is very active, and everyone is being updated with what's going on with the shelter and sanctuary, as well as the rescue animals' progress. But now the shelter isn't just taking dogs in. Once the proper facilities had been built, the enclosures were erected. Ken also began to rescue kittens and cats from the area. He also keeps a complete list of animals up for adoption on his website so that he can find all his rescues a loving home.
Ten men you won't believe exist. Number 10. Yu Zhenhuan. Yu Zhenhuan from China is the hairiest man in the world. Since the age of 2, he has suffered from a rare condition that makes hair cover 97% of his body. Yu has had 5 operations to remove the hair from his nose and gums to prevent infection. Yu's eyelashes also hide his eyes. He says that he didn't used to like going outside and being seen, but since his fame from his hair, he now aspires to be a rock star. Number 9. Chandra Bahadur Danji. Chandra from Nepal stood 1 foot and 9 inch tall, making him the shortest man to ever live. After winning the title in the Guinness World Record book in 2012, he travelled around the world, despite never leaving his village where he had grown up before winning the title. Chandra died on the 5th of December 2015 at age 75 from pneumonia. Number 8. Arlindo de Souza. In 2014, this Brazilian man injected his arm muscle with a potentially lethal concoction to make his muscles grow to an unbelievable size. The concoction consisted of alcohol and oil which he injected into his arm. Immediately after the injection, his arm started to swell up. Arlindo is a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger and can now mirror his physique with his 29-inch biceps. Many people have died from the substance, including Arlindo's own friend, Paul Hino, who died from infection caused by the substance. Number 7. Tom Staniford. In today's world, many people aspire to be skinny. However, Tom Staniford from England, whose body is 0% fat, probably has a very different ideology. He is one of the 8 people in the world who suffer from MDP, meaning that he is unable to store fat under his skin. Tom has to eat every 15 minutes to survive and may endure other difficulties that being 0% fat provokes. However, his disease hasn't stopped him living life to the fullest. He has a degree in law and French and is now a Paralympic cyclist. Number 6. Leonid Stadding. Leonid is a farmer from a small village in the Ukraine and is believed to be the tallest man on the planet. He measures 8 feet and 4 inches and wears size 27 shoes. Guinness attempted to measure him, however he is very shy and Guinness have stated that he didn't want to appear in the book. However, in 2013 his mother confirmed his outrageous height. Number 5. Patrick Doyle. This 53-year-old American man is the heaviest man in the world. Weighing in at over 1,000 pounds, the former restaurant owner from Nebraska featured on the documentary The Half-Ton Man. At his worst condition, he had not left his house or his bed for 7 years, and was so enormous that his bedroom wall had to be cut out to extract him from his home. Number 4. Gary Turner. Gary Turner from the UK has a rare condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which means he can stretch his skin more than the average human. He can stretch his stomach skin to around 16 centimeters and his neck skin to around 8 centimeters. He claims that the extreme stretching doesn't hurt at all and enjoys showing his stretchiness to his friends and family. Number 3. Amu Hadij. This man doesn't have any kind of disease or skin condition, he just hasn't washed in over 60 years. This 80-year-old Iranian man is arguably the dirtiest man alive. He lives a simple life in his tiny village and his most prized possession is a pipe that he uses to smoke animal dung with. He smokes around 100 cigarettes a day and it is not known why he has chosen this bizarre lifestyle. Number 2. Mohammed Kaleem. Despite only being 8 years old, Mohammed from India has the largest hands in the world. He is bullied by his peers and villagers believe he is cursed. Together, his arms weigh a staggering 2 stone. Kaleem's parents only earn $360 a year, meaning that they couldn't do anything about their son's hands. However, after gaining international media attention, he is now finally being treated by medical experts in India. Number 1. Paul Carrison. Paul Carrison, aka Papa Smurf, has blue-coloured skin due to a silver compound that he used to treat dermatitis on his face with. He says that he welcomes the nickname Papa Smurf only when it is said by kids. In 2013, Paul died of a stroke unrelated to his skin condition. Thanks for watching. Here are some more videos you might like, and don't forget to subscribe.
Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. Ever heard the phrase extra pair of hands? What if someone could actually have more hands than 2? What about a third eye? Most of you will agree that any extra body part on the human body would be one too many. But there are people who are actually born with extra body parts. Extra fingers, extra limbs, extra genitals, and even an extra whole body. You'll see what I mean. These cases are rare, unbelievable even, but they actually do exist. And often, people with extra body parts attract the extra attention wherever they may be, whether they like it or not. In today's short video are the stories and experiences of 10 people with extra body parts. Number 3 is so rare it could only happen to 1 in 5 million people. We hope you won't miss it. Number 10. Zhang Ruifang, Horned Grandma. At age 100, this Chinese woman sprouted a horn on her forehead that looked more like a unicorn horn. Her family members and villagers were obviously baffled. perhaps even worried when the mysterious protrusion first appeared on their granny's head. The horn started out as a small spot but grew tremendously, reaching 2.4 inches within the year. While it's not uncommon for elderly persons to develop such spots, it's quite rare for them to grow out into full-length, horn-like protrusions. Formally, these unusual spots are known as keratinous skin tumors, and are made of the same stuff that makes our hair and fingernails. And although they are considered to be benign, you don't want a 2-inch long spot sprouting on your head. Zhang Ruifeng's case got even more bizarre when another spot became visible, developing on the other side of her forehead. But instead of getting worried, she expressed that she was looking forward to when the two would match in length. Am I the only one here who's thinking she's gonna look like a horned she-devil now? Number 9. Tyson Smith, Piggyback Heart. Right about Valentine's Day of 2011, Tyson Smith woke up with a smiley face full of hearts, after a unique life-saving cardiac surgery gave him a new lease on life, quite literally. Mr. Smith was suffering from heart failure, and doctors at UC San Diego's Thornton Hospital noted that he was facing death if nothing was done. But the doctors could not perform a standard heart transplant just yet. Mr. Smith's weak heart had already built a high resistance to blood flow in the lungs, pulmonary hypertension, a situation that would have caused a newly transplanted heart to fail. So doctors had to perform a very rare procedure called heteroptic transplantation, which means that they graft a donor heart onto his own heart rather than completely remove his weak but functional heart. Essentially, the procedure left Tyson Smith with a piggyback heart, a second heart if you will, working alongside his own heart. Number 8. Alfie Clamp, Extra DNA Strand. Here's something that's never seen before: someone born with an extra strand of DNA. Alfie Clamp was born with the rather unusual condition being the very first person in the world to have an extra strand of material in his DNA. The boy was born blind and with severe disabilities, situations which led to doctors carrying out multiple tests on him from a very young age. He was only 2 when doctors discovered the extra strand of DNA material on his 7th chromosome. Doctors were baffled at the boy's condition since the extra arm they observed on his DNA had never before been documented anywhere in the world. In fact, his condition was so unique it did not have a name. It was not clear if the condition was responsible for the multiple problems the boy was experiencing. At one point, he stopped breathing completely and his parents feared for the worst, but luckily, Alfie came to moments after the terrifying episode. Number 7. Akshat Saxena, Excess Digits. Akshat Saxena from northern India was an extraordinary child right from birth when his parents realized that their son had an excess of fingers and toes. The excess digits were caused by a genetic disorder called polydactyly. It is a gene mutation that commonly manifests as an extra little finger on the side of the hand. Akshat's case was no different from that of the boy in China who was born in 2004, having 15 fingers and 16 toes, a total of 31 digits. The Chinese boy had to undergo surgery when he was 7 years old and was able to walk properly and wear shoes normally like the other kids at school. Number 6. Deepak Paswan, 4 extra limbs. Born in 2002, this boy from a small village in Bihar, India was born with a parasitic twin attached to his chest. He was just an innocent boy, but people from his village were torn between deciding whether he was the devil or the reincarnation of Vishnu, a Hindu deity often depicted in different avatars with multiple limbs. But technically, or rather biologically, Deepak Paswan was every bit a human, neither devil nor a small god. Deepak never paid mind to anyone who cursed him out, nor to those who'd want to shower him with praise. He simply wanted to live life like the other kids in the village. His parents were unable to raise funds to pay for their son's expensive procedure and have the limbs removed. And so, as Deepak grew, the extra limbs on his chest developed with him. One day, however, the family was overjoyed when one hospital in Bangalore City offered to perform the procedure for free. The $78,000 surgery was a success, and Deepak was now free to live the rest of his life without people teasing him and calling him Octopus Boy. Number 5. Lakshmi Tatma, Extra Torso, extra limbs. Born on the 31st of December 2005, a young girl was named after the Indian goddess of wealth and prosperity called Lakshmi. The girl was born with an extraordinary condition which left her attached to a semi-developed conjoined twin, giving her an extra torso and extra limbs. The conjoined parasitic twin's body attached to Lakshmi's body from below her torso, something that gave her the appearance of having 8 limbs and 2 torsos, end to end. Exactly how the small god she's named after is often portrayed. People from the village worshipped and flocked in praise of the girl who they believed was an incarnation of the goddess Lakshmi. Her mother even once claimed to have received a sign that she would bring forth a special child into the world, a child who would be revered. But Lakshmi, the girl, was just a girl, born with a rare condition which people had misconstrued to turn her into an idol. What they did not know, however, was that the girl was in pain. Lakshmi's condition caused her to suffer terrible fevers and persistent infections, something which made her health deteriorate by the day. Luckily, in 2007, Lakshmi was scheduled for a surgical procedure that would come to be referred to as a breakthrough in medical history. The 27-hour, 30-doctor procedure was one of its kind, and it was a huge success. Number 4. Baby Itzamara, born pregnant. Now this is ultra rare. A Colombian woman was expecting twins but gave birth to one child, who was pregnant with her own twin. The newborn girl was named Itzamara and is one of 200 babies ever to have been born pregnant. During an ultrasound, doctors noticed that the mother had 2 umbilical cords but only 1 fetus. They had to quickly perform a C-section on her 2 weeks before she was due. Just 24 hours after the emergency surgery, day-old Itzamara had to undergo a C-section of her own to remove the unborn twin who was mysteriously inside her young womb in the form of a mass which had no brain or heart. Both operations were successful, but what happened to baby Itzamara is one medical mystery that has left many doctors scratching their heads. Well, there was one other similar case in China where a girl was found to have 2 underdeveloped fetuses in her womb, which were removed when she was only 3 weeks old. Still, this is very, very abnormal, and according to one Dr. Birch, weird things happen early in the pregnancy that we just don't understand. Number 3. Sarah Reinfelder, 2 uteruses. We already told you that strange things happen in pregnancies, but some pregnancies are, in and of themselves, very odd. I mean, what are the chances of having a sibling with whom you share the exact date of birth? Oh yeah, same daddy and mommy as well, and that sibling isn't your twin. Sarah Reinfelder broke the internet with news of her healthy babies born at the same time, each from a separate of her 2 uteruses. The mother from Michigan first discovered that she had 2 uteri after she experienced a miscarriage with her first pregnancy in 2007. She lost the twins, and doctors noted that it would be very unlikely for her to bear children due to her condition. But 2 years later, Sarah overcame almost insurmountable odds, giving birth to another set of twins, each from her 2 wombs. About 1 in 2,000 women could have 2 uteruses, of which not all will have both uteri functional. But to conceive in both uteruses and carry a successful pregnancy, such as Sarah's, that's a 1 in 5 million chance.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
And in today's best pick, this picture was sent to us by a subscriber just like you. It shows a woman putting on a busty display that will knock you off your feet. Number 2. Jasmine Tritival, extra breast. No, you haven't woken up in Total Recall. This woman actually has an extra breast. Jasmine Tritival was the first woman in the world to have a 3rd breast surgically added. She has since been at war with netizens claiming that she is a fake. She, however, insists that she did get the controversial boob job done for $20,000 and even tattooed on it. She revealed that she had trouble finding a willing surgeon to do the controversial procedure, but eventually landed on one willing to perform the surgery. But it's the reason she gave for wanting to have a 3rd breast that will shock you. Jasmine said that she got the 3rd breast because she wanted to look unattractive, especially so that she can put men off. The outcome, however, was the exact opposite, as she came to learn that some fellas are not put off that easily.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. diphalic dude. 2 Johnsons. Finishing strong at number 1 is the guy from Reddit claiming to pack 2 Johnsons, or male members if you like. The anonymous guy, known only by the pseudonym Triple D, shocked many when he agreed to answer any and all questions regarding his experience having 2 functional Johnsons. The Reddit post where the guy literally shared to the world the ins and outs of his anatomy as well as his numerous wild escapades went viral. One of the most asked questions was whether the 2 Johnsons can do everything in unison, to which the guy confirmed. The endowed guy, who identified as American, went ahead to write an e-memoir a year after his much-debated Reddit post. His Kindle book titled Double Header was widely sold on Amazon. He even followed it with a second e-publication, which he narrated the steamy tales of his wild escapades. Hey, you made it to the end of the video! If you enjoyed, be sure to click the like icon and leave a comment. Thankfully, you don't need an extra finger for that. Your engagement is what keeps our curiosity going. We have lots of videos that you will enjoy. You can start by checking out the 2 already showing up on your screen right now. Keep it 100.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. Even though kids are capable of working hard and winning competitions, you'll seldom find them trying to become professionals at something in their early years. You'll find most children out in the parks having fun with other kids, playing with their toys, or even watching TV. But if they're not playing, they're either at school or doing their homework. But the kids we're going to showcase in this video are different. These are exceptionally strong kids, both mentally and physically. They are the kind of kids who feel happy only when they have a weight to lift, or when they're in their boxing gloves. Most of these kids are prodigies, and are already smashing world records for breakfast. They'll boast of achievements that even adults would envy. They are the 10 strongest kids in the world. Number 10. Andrei Kostash. How many push-ups can you complete in a row? 1, 5, or is it 10? That seems to be the most push-ups most guys can complete. And even then, they'd be sweating. Andrei Kostash is no ordinary kid. He has been training since he was 5 years old. Guess how many consecutive push-ups he can complete? Well, I don't know what figure you have in mind, but this boy managed 4,000 push-ups back-to-back in 2 hours and 29 minutes. This remarkable feat earned the youngster an honorable prize for breaking the Ukrainian national record. But even that wasn't his personal best. Andrei Kostash could manage up to 4,000 consecutive push-ups. How does that compare to your own record? Number 9. Varya Vavara Uklova. This girl with a petite frame and lean muscles could lift you 4 times her body weight. Her name might not mean much to you, but it means a great deal in Ukraine. She is the Ukrainian girl who was listed in the Guinness World Records and received the title of the strongest girl in the world. My goodness, that's not a title you just throw around. At the age of 8, she was able to lift 110 kilograms, and she weighed 40 kilograms herself. That's a little shy of 3 times her weight. At 12 years old, Varya did it again. Insane as it sounds, the girl lifted a total of 300 kilograms, 4 times her body weight. Do you think she's more than earned the imposing title? Being born into a family of circus performers, it was inevitable that Varya's extraordinary strength and ability to lift unbelievable amounts of weight would get noticed. She was only 7 years old, and she was already winning powerlifting competitions. But perhaps the most impressive feat of this little girl's immense strength was captured in a photograph that showed 12-year-old Varya piggybacking both her parents. Even though Varya isn't pursuing professional weightlifting anymore, her accomplishments remain incredible. Number 8. Naomi Chaya Kutin. We know Supergirl is Superman's cousin and protector of National City, right? She's got the same super strength and incredible extraterrestrial abilities. We have DC Comics to thank for introducing us to Supergirl. But what would a real-life Supergirl look like, really? It couldn't possibly be Melissa Benoist. The peaceful CBS's heroine said that she hadn't ever hit anyone before playing Kara Zor-El. The poor ex-Glee actor had to work out her core to fit the physically demanding superhero role when she got the Supergirl job. Our real-life Supergirl would definitely have to be naturally strong. More than Naomi Kutin. She looks just like a typical girl, but she can actually lift 3 times her body weight. This makes her, arguably, one of the strongest girls in the world. But that's not all. Naomi Kutin is also a prolific record breaker. She was only 9 years old when she set a new powerlifting world record and instantly became a star girl. Picture a 40-kilogram girl squatting 93 kilograms. That she was able to break an all-time listed record set by the 1986 IPF Women's World Champion Judy Gidney is impressive, but breaking the record at only 9 years old is mind-boggling. By the time she was 16, she could boast of 145-kilogram squats, 164-kilogram deadlift, and 58-kilogram bench. A documentary film about this extraordinary girl premiered in 2016, describing her as the Supergirl. Ultimately, the film captures the journey of a young Jewish powerlifter who manages to balance between a very mental sport and devotion to her faith. She's not the typical bat mitzvah girl. She is Supergirl. Number 7. Kyle Kane. This boy's physique has earned him an interestingly fitting title, Little Arnie. It's clear to see that he is more than capable of smashing anything, just like the man he's nicknamed after, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the only thing he's interested in is smashing the world records by setting benchers of deadlifters. Kyle Kane was only 12 years old when he hoisted a mind-blowing 140 kilograms, breaking the previous standing record of 107. The boy displayed this incredible feat at the Standard Triumph Club, and he officially became the world's strongest boy of his age group. As you might have guessed, Kyle did not become a strong man overnight, or a strong kid, we should say. He gained his massive strength by undergoing a grueling exercise and training regime consisting more than 91-kilogram bench presses and 272-kilogram squats. The boy is set on winning the Olympic gold medal and aspires to become a professional bodybuilder like his dad. Number 6. Mariana Naumova. When she was 12 years old, this little girl became a weightlifting sensation by benching over 70 kilograms. The following year, this impressive teenage girl came back and wowed the crowds at the 2013 Arnold Classic. This time, little Mariana successfully benched 108 kilograms. If you think this isn't an impressive achievement, especially for a 13-year-old, you'll find lots of videos online showing grown men struggling to bench press a measly 90 kilograms. But this bench press prodigy set yet another record at the 2015 Arnold Classic, lifting a whopping 150 kilograms. She was the first girl under 18 to feature in the professional weightlifting tournament. Sadly, the girl was disqualified in 2016 for using banned substances. After the 2-year ban, 19-year-old Mariana returned to the competitions at the Russia Bench Press Championships, but this time she flopped a little and took 3rd place with the 95-kilogram bench press record. Number 5. Giuliano's Store. Kids can be a little uncoordinated. They'll break a glass or two as they grow up, but that's alright as long as they're not too clumsy. Giuliano's Store, too, has broken some things growing up, but from his bulky body, you know it's more than glassware he's been breaking. At 5 years old, Giuliano lit the whole of Romania and the world when he was included in the Guinness Book of World Records. He was the youngest kid to ever break the record for the fastest 10-meter hand walk with a weighted ball between the legs. Giuliano's Store completed the stunt on an Italian TV show before a live audience. His performance was an effortless display of incredible strength and coordination. February 2010, the boy was 6 years old, and he broke another world record. This time, Giuliano managed 20 90-degree push-ups, up from his previous